is here. I don't know how they are going to help us to organize that training, since we have committed ourselves by making funds available to the ministry. So the area officer will help us throw more light on that. Thank you very much. Vocational skills acquisition for female members. The society conducted a workshop on beauty skincare acquisition training for 50 female members of our society, which was aimed at equipping our female cooperators with required skills. Members that are nominated for this are usually like 50. So if there are not more than 50, it is still in line with government's protocol to contain the further spread of the virus. Staff welfare. Members of staff of our society is one of the pillars of our policy, because the success story of the society cannot be complete without them. In the year under review, members of staff have attended various workshops, trainings to broaden their horizon on cooperative business. Similarly, a modulated new minimum wage was implemented to enhance their productivity. I think we did that. Our staff in the society are also benefiting from the new, I think, minimum wage that is paid across the nation. Dividend payment. Dividend payment has been of positive trend in our society, and in fact distinguished us from others in the industry, as we paid to members promptly as soon as our annual accounts and returns were approved. Customized souvenirs. As it is our usual practice, the souvenirs distributed were members friendly, customized modern electric kettle. This is to further bring succor and alleviate the burden of energy cost on our team members, as price of kerosene is beyond the reach of the ordinary citizen. Society's members' shares. The investment in the society's shares by members increased from 70 million 19,022 naira 33 kobo in 2018 to 72 million 671,877 naira 31 kobo in 2019, and about 2,000 members out of the total membership strength of over 13,000 subscribed as at today. The trend of share subscription by members of the society is not encouraging. It is instructive to let you know that shares capitalization in cooperative society is compulsory in Lagos State. Our society has been using moral suasion approach to encourage members to subscribe to either minimum of 20,000 shares or maximum of 100,000 naira. However, if this pathetic situation continues, it will be presented at the next annual general meeting for approval on compulsory deductions from members on monthly basis. So this may also be another motion that will be presented before you this afternoon. Payment on dividend on shares. The society declared and paid dividend to few members that subscribed to shares accordingly. So we have since paid dividend on shares. Society's land at Lekki. As reported in our annual general meeting, that 2 acres of land were purchased along the corridor, that is the Lekki corridor, to further bolster the asset base of the society. It is gladdening to inform you that the governor's consent, that is an equivalent of the CFO, has been obtained on this land, and that has conferred proper title on us. And negotiations are ongoing between the Cooperative Mortgage Bank officers and officials and our management team on the possible development of the parcel of land into a commercial structure. We hope that by the time this is concluded, it will further create more wealth for members' benefits. The management committee does not want to dip their hands into the coffers of the society for the construction of any kind. Therefore, we intend to engage an institutional developer to build, operate, and transfer. Permit me, before I go further, to recognize in our midst the presence of our father, the Emeritus President, Sir Chief Gabriel Ororo. You are most welcome, sir. Please, a round of applause for you. You are most welcome, sir. So, development of block of flats on Governor's Road. The ongoing project of the development of block of flats continues at Governor Road, Ikotun, which contain 4 blocks of 7 flats each, totaling 28 flats. The stage of the project as at the period under review is 72%, with the delivery date, which we hope to be by December 2020. That is, by end of this year, we hope to have fully completed those block of flats and make it available for commercial purposes. Igbo-Okuta Cooperative Estate. In pursuance of the resolution of the annual general meeting of year 2016 on the approval for the revocation of undeveloped plots of land at the cooperative estate, Igbo-Okuta, I wish to inform you that 45 members of our society that showed interest and paid the 450,000 half payment of the total sales price of 850,000 have been given reallocation letters. I'm also glad to report that most of the newly allotted plots, we are seeing fast development, and we hope that trend will continue so that the estate can become more viable and attractive. Personal protection plan policy. That's the insurance plan policy. The policy is still in force. Next of kin / nominees of deceased members received financial benefits under the scheme. Although there are few outstanding claims due to submission of irregular documents, which stall the payment of compensation to some nominees or beneficiaries. However, efforts are being put in place to sort this out with the appropriate authority, and the claim will be paid accordingly. Payment of withdrawal claims. The rate of membership turnover in our society is alarming, and it is as a result of the nature of our society having been in existence since 1962, where members are living, having put in the statutory retirement service year of 35 years, or the attainment of 60 years statutory retirement age. However, withdrawal claims are being paid promptly after 3 months of notification letter of withdrawal is received and processed. In the same vein, I would like to implore our retiring members to retain their membership by taking partial withdrawal from their savings so that they could further derive financial benefits accruable from the society's investment outfits in the years ahead. Long service award to members. During this period, the society distributed 24 inches LED Slim HD Polystar television, being award gifts for members who have stayed between 20 to 25 years in the society and who are retiring. So this is a feat we intend to promote and to continue in order to retain the loyalty of members for their contributions to the success story of this great society. Because without the members, the society, and their commitment, the society will not be where it is today. Challenges / constraints. Our society exercises great pain to educate and satisfy the incessant needs of our teeming members. Yet, some members still make outrageous requests for unmerited loans, thereby pushing the societies to our financial limits. These members are advised to desist from this act in order to give opportunity to those who are fresh and are desirous of our services. However, the society shall continue to address the loan requests of qualified members as promptly as possible. And like I said in my welcome address, we intend to reduce the waiting time for loan applications to within 2 weeks, irrespective of the amount involved. But for loans between 0 to 150,000, it will just be attended to in 3 days. And that's the situation we are going to put the society on that pedestal. So we solicit your cooperation in this regard. Obituaries. During the year under review, our society lost some of our members, thereby leaving us to mourn them. Our prayer is that the Almighty God grant their families the strength to bear the irreparable loss and grant the departed eternal rest. So let's observe a minute silence in their honor. May Almighty God grant the soul of the departed eternal rest. Let's sit down. In conclusion, I would like to thank you all, our members, for your cooperation, support, and understanding, and pray that the COVID-19 pandemic will not be our portion in the name of Almighty God. Thank you for listening. AKETE, Mainland Cooperative Society Limited, long live AKETE, long live Lagos State, long live Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you very much. So, also in our midst now is Honorable Justice S.O. Ishola, one of our revered elders and leaders. You are most welcome, sir, and you are highly appreciated. Please appreciate him. Thank you very much, sir. So, we shall move to the next item, which is the presentation of the report of the treasurer of the society. Okay, let us also appreciate and welcome the #1 cooperator in Lagos State, Barrister Oladipo Shobule, the LASCOFED president, and his team. I think that's the treasurer of the LASCOFED. You are most appreciated and welcome. You are welcome, sir. Please appreciate once again the #1 cooperator in Lagos State. You are welcome, sir. You are welcome, sir. So I will call on the treasurer of the society in person of Mr. Victor Olusanjo Falemi to present the treasurer's report.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Please permit me to stand on the existing protocol. Thank you. I am pleased to present to you the audited annual accounts of the society for the financial year ended 31st December 2019. The year under review witnessed activities in the areas of credit and financial management. The management committee was responsive to the needs of the team members by ensuring that their demands for credit were met as and when due. This therefore explains why a total loan of 3,101,505,067 naira 57 kobo was granted during the year. The returns recorded in all sectors of the society during the year 2019 showed encouraging results. There was growth in member savings and share subscription during the year under review. However, this trend is sustainable in subsequent years because we are not relenting. Income and expenditure accounts. A total income of 446,679,503 naira 96 kobo was realized, while the sum of 174,538,017 naira 84 kobo was recorded as expenditure during the year 2019. Thus, this leaves a net surplus of 272,141,536 naira 12 kobo. The total income of 446 million was realized as at the end of financial year 31st December 2019, as against the sum of 441.9 realized in 2018, which represents a slight increase of 1%. The total expenditure recorded at the end of the year 2019 stood at 174,538,017 naira and 94 kobo, as against the sum of 162,577,119 naira 72 kobo recorded in the year 2018, representing an increase of 8%. Member savings account. Member savings account balance as at 31st December 2019 stood at 5.1 billion. The profile shows that members saved a total sum of 796,980,047 naira 89 kobo during the year. The figure represents an increase of 86,945,292 naira 26 kobo, or 12%, over the previous year's figure of 700 million. Members withdrew the sum of 348 million as against the sum of 267 million in 2018, which represents an increase of 81.5 million. Members' loan account. I wish to report that members' indebtedness to the society as at 31st December 2019 was 4.3 billion naira. During the period under review, the sum of 3.1 billion was granted as loans to members. The figure represents an increase of 415 million naira, or 16%, over the sum of 2.6 billion naira granted to members in 2018. The sum of 2.6 billion naira was repaid by members during the period. The figure represents an increase of 55,604 naira 4 kobo over the sum of 2.6 billion naira repaid in 2018. We can see the details of this in Appendix 4B. Members' shares account. I wish to report that members' shares subscription to the society as at 31st December 2019 stood at 120 million naira. During the financial year, the paid-up shares stood at 72.6 million naira, which was invested in a fixed deposit account. System of assets and liabilities. The total asset of the society as at 31st December 2019 stood at 6.3 billion naira, and the breakdown is fixed assets 1.4 billion, and current assets 4.9 billion naira. The current liabilities for the period amounted to 323 million naira. The net worth of society as at December 2019 stood at 6 billion naira. We can also find it this in Appendix 11. Disposal of surplus. The net surplus of 272,141,506 naira 12 kobo was recorded for 2019 fiscal year. The highlight of the appropriation is the allocation of the sum of 173 million to members' dividends. Other highlight of the appropriation are as follows. The staff fund is appropriating 25% of net surplus, 68 million, and education fund 2.5% of net surplus, 6.8 million. In conclusion, I want to thank you for your rapt and kind attention. Thank you and God bless you.
Please, can we put our hands together for the treasurer? Yes, before we continue the program, see, we are Nigerians, we are Africans, especially, and we are Yoruba descent. So, you know, in Yoruba culture, we have this culture of recognizing, of due recognition to our leaders, especially leaders that have mentored and coached a lot of people, to the leaders that are very accommodating, very friendly, and that have done tremendously well. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, I want us to give a standing ovation to our emeritus president, Sir Gabriel Oruru. Please, let's give him a standing ovation. Thank you very much to the president.
Thank you very much. We have listened to the presentation of report by the treasurer. But before we go into the discussion, I would like to crave the indulgence of the director. Before we do that, I'd like to crave the indulgence of the representative of the director to please permit us for 5 minutes. There are some people in our midst here who have some health presentations to make, and they come from a very far distance. So we'll just give them 5 minutes, not more than 5 minutes, so that they can do the presentation and leave. Then we continue. Please, with your kind permission, sir. Thank you very much. So where are they? Health guards, are they around? Mrs. Faith, are they around? Okay, this is Mr., not Mrs. Are you the one to make the presentation? Okay, we are just giving you 5 minutes. No, you are eating into our time, and time is of essence. So,
thank you so much. Permit me to step away from light a bit. I'm not used to having light getting into my eyeballs. So it's a pleasure being here. Today we want to sensitize all seated in the audience on the need for us to remember our health from time to time. You know, we often make this mistake of forgetting to remember that it is only a healthy person that enjoy the beautiful things of life. Whatever you'll be getting from this cooperative, if not healthy, it will not give you joy, would it? So oftentimes we forget. If you are a man seated here and you observe that you wake up at night to go and urinate, maybe you urinate 2-3 times at night, and you are not diabetic, you do not take too much moisture during the night, and you see yourself urinating frequently, it, of course, is a red flag for something. If you're a man seated here, and each time you urinate, you discover that your urine, instead of moving out of you through one stream is parting ways to two different streams, like it happens with some men, it shows that something is wrong somewhere. If you're a man seated here and you discover that each time you want to urinate, your urine just drops at your feet, it of course is a red flag of something. If you're a man seated here and you suddenly discover that your bed powers is nothing to write home about, it's also a red flag for something. What am I talking about? Oftentimes, men tend to push this or tend to not to pay attention to this very particular thing, but it is very important. I'm talking about the prostrate situation in men. You see, when it comes to a man, there are like three basic aspects of a man's prostrate that a man may contend with during the course of his existence on earth. One could be prostatitis, which is prostate that is caused as a result of infections that we are not adequately taken care of. The other could be benign prostate enlargement that has happened because as a man gets older, his hormones will definitely start playing some funny tricks on him, and the prostate will enlarge. And of course, the attendant symptoms are some of the things I mentioned earlier. Or even prostate cancer, which is cancer that affects the prostate organ. Now, it doesn't matter the type of prostate situation a man faces. The symptoms are the same. And we always tell men that it is important that they protect themselves. They try to avoid it from coming, because whether you like it or not, if you're a man seated here, the prostate situation is something you have to contend with one way or the other. So we'll tell you that the best way to facing it is living a very healthy lifestyle, avoiding some of the things that you need to avoid. We're giving you some materials which you would use to contact us, so we'll give you more details on the things you need to do. But you don't have to allow the situation to come before you take care of it. If you ask men that have had prostate situation and it degenerated to the extent where they had to have surgical procedures, those men will tell you that they never came back the same after the procedure. So the best form of arresting this situation is to prevent it. On the side of the women, there are also situations they grapple with. As women get older, there are issues they contend with. We have breast cancer, we have cervical cancer, we have so many of these challenges that we are plagued with today. What is causing it? In the days of our father, issues like cancer seems to be a thing of the past. But if you pay a visit to the hospital, you find out that so many people are plagued with this situation. It is because we have borrowed a lifestyle that is alien to us. We have borrowed things that we are not used to doing. If you keep a fish on the table now and you go and come back after 24 hours, whether that fish is cooked or boiled or not, ladies and gentlemen, can you still eat that fish? It's not possible. But somebody will tell you to put that same fish in a bottle or in a can, and after 2-3 years, you'll be told that that fish is safe for you to eat. Now, you don't need a prophet to tell you that whatever is making that fish healthy inside that bottle, if it gets into your system, can predispose you to some other challenges. And that is why we have the increase of these ailments that so many of us are suffering from. Now, it is not possible to tell you to avoid everything that is processed because we live in a modern era. But what do you need to do? If you are taking many of these processed food, then you need to make sure that your body is always detoxified. You need to get some of these chemicals out. You need to get some of these things that can predispose you to getting cancer and some of these terminal challenges that we'll face most in the later part of our life. The materials have been given to you, so please, we'll take your questions when you contact us with the material. Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you very much. You are at the nick of time. Thank you very much. So please, for further inquiries, I think they have their desks somewhere there. You can hook up with them for further questions and inquiries. Thank you very much. So let's go back to our proceedings here now. We were on the Treasurer's report, and it's been presented. Maybe we have comments on those reports before we move further. Okay, we'll consider everything together and then take note of our comments and we'll move on. So we'd like to have the report of the Supervisory Committee. I don't think that is actually a report. It's a mere expression of opinion, but they want to read it out. It's a report. Okay. I thought
Good morning, fellow cooperators. Permit me to stand on the existing protocol while presenting the Audit Committee report. Our responsibility is to express an opinion on the financial statement of the society based on periodic and annual scrutiny of the books of accounts in accordance with the ethical audit procedures and international audit standards. We are to evaluate and properly assess the financial statements, operational matters, and management activities of AKETE Mainland Cooperative Multipurpose Society Limited to ensure it is free from financial material misstatements. Give a true and fair view of the financial position of the society as at 31st December 2019, such that it is compliance with the requirements of Cooperative Law and Financial Reporting Council of Nigeria Act 2011. Our opinion. We found that AKETE Mainland Cooperative Multipurpose Society Limited and its subsidiary have kept proper books of accounts which are in agreement with the financial statements presented to the society, to the members of the society. We unequivocally state that our examination gives AKETE Mainland Multipurpose Cooperative Society Limited a clean financial bill of health as a society solvent to meet all its financial obligations to members. Thank you for listening.
thank you very much, Chairman Audit Committee. Now, the reports have been presented. So if we have questions or observations about those reports, so let's signify and raise them. Thank you very much. Yeah, we told them that now they can participate. If they signify, yeah, they will link them in. I know there is somebody in charge over there. Are they online? Are there questions or observations or chats from them? Can you throw that to them? And those that are here, of course. Any observations, sir? Any observation or comments? Okay. Have you hooked in with them? Do they have, if there are charts, you can read it for. If there's àbí òun máa rí tán bá ti signify. Okay. Olumide, are you finding it difficult to read the chat? Eh? Few ones, just read like 2 or 3. Just read like 2 or 3 that you can pick. Okay. And you can sit down and read from your table. So while that is going on, any comment here? Any comment? Okay. Who is that person? Can you come forward? Can you come forward, please? No, Mike,
Good afternoon, sir, or good morning, sirs. With due respect to our fathers on the high table and the team of EXCOs, I will also bid my colleagues a very warm welcome to this special meeting. My name is Olasende Emmanuel, Zonal Coordinator, Surulere. I want to commend our indefatigable team of EXCOs for the great job they've been doing. I have, however, just want to have an input, especially to the commodity committee. One of the value-added services we can give back to our members is on the commodity aspect, apart from the loan. And I discovered that quite many of our members have not been able to partake of this commodity, take full advantage of it, because of the protocols involved. I, however, want to propose the possibility of we engaging some of those e-commerce platforms like Jumia, Gigi, Konga, Games, and the rest of them, whereby if a member wants or needs to get a phone, a mobile phone, for instance, all we need to do is just come to the cooperative and tell them, I want this type of phone. And when they search on Jumia or Konga, they pick out your item, they see the price, they can immediately place an order for you on the platform, and the product is directed to be submitted to you, instead of having to wait for 1 month or thereabout before you get your product. I believe if you do this, many of our members will be able to access the commodity advantage far more, be it household equipment, mobile phones, and others, or laptops, and anything like that. As long as you come around, they just go to the portal, check out your product, tell you the price, the society puts their own interest on it, and once your account can carry it and you have the capacity to pay back, it is immediately charged to your account, and the product is delivered to you sometimes within 24 hours. I believe this will greatly put our cooperative on the front burner again for other people to run after us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Your points are well noted, and we will speak more with you on that to see the possibility of working that. So please, quickly, those chats.
Sir, we only have 2 messages.
Okay.
One is from Mr. Adio A.
Please take note, Secretariat.
From Mr. Adio, he said, how can we have access to housing loans?
Okay. How can we have access to housing loan?
Yes.
Okay.
The other question from Mrs. Fatima, that how can they check their account balance online and print their account statement instead of going to Adekunle?
Okay. Checking online. Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
We need to be proactive, and I think immediately we need to respond to those questions. So maybe you are going to, hello, the technical man, you are going to send messages back. I think they will listen, okay, as we are responding. So he said, how can we have housing loan? I think housing loan provisions are made for members of staff of the local government and state public service. The society only grants loan for other specific purposes. So for housing loan, the individual needs to apply to the housing loan board. If it's a local government, we have one at the Local Government Service Commission that attends to such, through, of course, their local government council manager. For checking online, I think we have even gone a step further in that regard, because the server that we used to have for checking balances online, usually before now, stops at after close of work. But we have developed a server that will be 24 hours. At any time of the day, even in the middle of the night, once you have that, the access code, you can log in your request and you receive your message on the details of your bank, status of account with the society. So, and we are also working with the IT unit to develop, I think we've had that at one of the meetings with the elders and the management committee, to develop the website of the society such that members can request for loan applications online. Very soon that will also be concluded. But for checking online, it's 24/7. You can check at any time of the day, irrespective of the server is online 24/7 now, so, and it's working. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
So, with the so balance. So,
Question, sir.
okay, another one.
This question was from Mrs. Funke Morakinyo from Subeb Surulere.
Okay.
She said, why is it when they finish removing the money we borrowed and they continue removing without stopping until we go back to their office and yet still removing the money? Any reason for that?
Okay.
Thanks.
That's a very good question. That has been a recurring question from members. And first of all, we must let Mrs. Funke be aware that the control of stoppage of funds lies with the Oracle office. When we finish deductions of our loan, we always take monthly advice through our variations section to the Oracle office to stop further deductions. But lately, we have discovered that such deductions, such variation advice are not being effected. And we went further to find out what is responsible for that. The Oracle office told us the new mode of payment to local government JAC account is responsible. That they've not been able to receive subvention to effectively manage their equipment, and therefore, without funds, they cannot easily key into effecting such variations. So, but we hope with time, the local governments have started responding to the payment of their subventions. So we hope all these things will be a thing of the past very soon.
Okay. This person sent observation. Let's update our website so that we can transact online without the coordinators. Then another person, please, we need more knowledge on insurance money.
Okay, thank you.
Someone sent another message.
Okay.
Mr. Awe Babajide Oludayo from Ekpe. It is so obvious that after finishing paying loan, they still reduction in almost 2 or 3 months.
It's the same problem. That answers the former. But on insurance, I think the insurance is a group life insurance. If that person who is asking questions about insurance looks into the pamphlet, I think details of activities that is relates to the insurance cover were mentioned, ranging from death, physical disability, and other issues as it relates to insurance. So I will refer that person to look into the booklet and see those so I think that answers the question. The online issue, we talked about that earlier. Okay, you are done. Thank you very much. So, having attended to comments, we'd like to have a motion for adoption of those reports as presented from the audience. In the absence of any further question. Pardon? You said? Okay. Okay, somebody is talking online. Olumide. Check online. If somebody wants to move the motion, even from home, or those that are here. Okay.
Good morning, sirs. I'm Miles. My name is Oladeji Lawal Olawi, LASMA coordinator. I move the motion.
For what?
For the adoption of the reading of the statement.
Of the reports as presented.
Sorry, of the reports.
Thank you. Seconder. Who is the seconder? Huh?
Ibrahim Imota seconded the motion for the adoption of the report.
Thank you very much. So the reports stand adopted. So we will quickly move straight away to the comments of the Director of Cooperative, ably represented by Mr. Omotayo. Over to you.
Thank you, sir, Mr. President. On the 31st of August 2020, history was made. One of your members, in fact, the immediate past president of these cooperatives, was sworn in as the newly elected president of Blasco Fed. On that note, I want to welcome the president of Blasco Fed, the president of AKETE, Multipurpose Cooperative Societies. We have the newly sworn in treasurer of Blasco Fed, here seated, Cooperator Olusegun Shodia. We have the other members of the management committee. We have our elders, starting from Chief Gabriel Ororo, Chief Agboji, Chief Ogunlolu, then our Honorable Justice here present, sir. Distinguished cooperators, ladies and gentlemen here in the hall, and everybody watching us from home. On behalf of the management of Lagos State Ministry of Commerce, Industry and Cooperatives, headed by the Commissioner, I want to welcome you to the 58th Annual General Meeting of this great multipurpose cooperative society. Yes, my comments will be largely on some of the reports that has been presented here today. I want to congratulate the management committee for steering the affairs of this cooperative successfully for the year 2019. Yes, we all know it's not easy to manage human beings, not to talk of managing money. It's not everybody that has the skills to do that. We've had instances where management committee will come in and they will mess up what some leaders have been building over the years. So we want to thank this current management committee headed by my brother here, Alhaji Lateef Oloto, for a good job well done, and want to wish them more powers to their elbows. We want to continue to pray for them, for the wisdom to continue to steer the affairs of this cooperative society to greater heights. It's been all said. Most of the comments are just, on point. I mean, the comments from members at home and from this hall. And we want to advise you to continue to ensure that whatever you want to do should be in the larger interest of a larger, member of this cooperative society. Because we want a situation where they will continue to reap the dividends of being a member of this great cooperative society. Yes, I want to quickly run down on my observations from your report. Yes, I want to acknowledge the fact that, and commend you, that the waiting time for loan payment has largely reduced, but from maybe 1 month, 2 months, now to just 1 week and 2 weeks, respectively, as regards to the amount. Anything below 150,000, 1 week, and you are hoping to reduce this to 3 days. And we want to tell you that there is nothing wrong in it being a 24-hour request. Yes. When I stand up to talk, I want to talk. I don't mind mentioning names. A fellow cooperative society within the ministry too, they do that. Within 24 hours, they give that loan. It's short loan and it's doable. Before I know this cooperative, way back when I joined the service newly, I was admitted into the hands of Chief Agboji, though we were not in the same ministry. But I work with Lagos State Ministry of Agri then as the registrar of cooperative. But I'm always one of the officers, young officers, that we visit your cooperative then, and I'll sit down and be watching Chief Agboji, the way he's dealing with members' requests. Requests that ordinarily me, myself, will never grant in the next 5 years. So, having later met with some of the past leaders and those who came after him, I now realize the importance of succession planning when it comes to cooperatives. It's as if all of the presidents, they have the same character, the same mien, as in calm, cool, intelligent, and collected. So I always give it to, when I go to AGMs too, I always make this cooperative society a reference point in some areas. So I was not surprised when, at the end of the day, the newly employed, elected president of LASCOPA is equally from. I think it's a plus for your cooperative society. So please, let's look into the loan operations. It's doable. I know you can do it. It's just a matter of, dotting the A's. It's doable. And in fact, it's those, from experience, it's such small loans that really brings in income into the corporation. Not the 1 million, 2 million. 15 naira, little drops. You never can tell. Before you know it, it's accumulating. So let's focus more on that. Now that even we are in a peculiar situation where most of our members need funds to do a lot of things, these short-term loans will greatly help to reduce their financial burdens. Then that's that. And the long-term loan, that's still okay, 2 weeks. We appreciate that. And for now, any money outside shares that have been subscribed to the 72 million naira and the ones coming, please, let's minimize our investment in long-term projects. Yes, I quite appreciate one that you are doing, the Lekki corridor, where it's a PPP thing. Yes, let's look towards that so that our savings, member savings, will be channeled strictly to loan operations. That way, you will sleep without even bothering. I was surprised. One of the cooperative society in Lagos State recently, they wanted to invest in building a student hostel in Unilag. And they were requesting for access to their fixed deposit, reserve fund, which they have been funding. It's not as if they've been funding it, not on paper. They've been funding. So the director now said, before I can allow you to have access to such a fund, let's have evidence that you are truly funding this. Men, by the time they came in with their evidences, fixed deposit running into 1-point-something billion. Within the same local government that we have, fixed deposit running into 1-point-something billion. So naturally, without even touching member savings, you know, there's money they've accumulated over the years that they can easily access within the next done and through with the project. So let's sit down again. We know we have AKETE within this cooperative society that can truly do all these things. It's doable. So please, let's take note. And I know by the time we are doing our next AGM or 2 next AGMs, we too will stand boldly and tell people where we are doing this, we are doing that. Even the loan request is within 24 hours. Long, if you need a loan of 5 million, just come to us within 1 week. You are through with it. Haven't done the necessary things that is expected of you. So may God continue to help us. Then the accounts too, it's been presented. Unfortunately, when the treasurer was presenting his statistics, he didn't tell us the percentage movements in the surplus. Maybe that one dropped, that one dipped, but the others that increased is mentioned. But I want to tell you, even a negative report is still a report. Not to talk of just a slight dip. So we should stand boldly and tell people, we made a loss if you make a loss. But what caused these losses? If you are able to justify yourself, Nigerians are intelligent people. They will know, okay, the reason why this society made a loss is due to so and they. So it dipped. Everybody knows what has been happening within the global economy since last year. And we are expecting that come next year when we are giving our reports too, it's going to dip further. Or like many months, most cooperative society were not operating at full throttle. Though some still grant loans, but it's not comparable as to when we are fully aware of what is happening. So the society surplus dipped, it's understandable, by just 2.6%. So we want to appreciate the management committee. And a dividend of 173 million was declared. Where I'm driving at is, in the reports, I read dividend has been shared, and I want to know. I hope it's not 2019 dividend that was shared. If it is 2019, the management committee has erred, because we don't encourage in Lagos State for dividends to be shared before the approval of members at annual general meetings. So please take note, no dividend payment until we get the approval of members. Yes, at the AGM. Yes, at the AGM. There is need for us to come to the AGM to get approval of members for us to share or not to share. See, the implication, let me tell us. Sometimes we get to AGMs like this. One house, please. Sometimes we get to AGMs and there are contentious issues on the account. If the management had shared all those things and you didn't approve it, what happens? But when there are issues that have been raised, as this regulatory body, the management we first go back, amend it, and now do the needful. Sometimes you see surplus being shared, being appropriated, and we get to AGM, and we say, no, rather than sharing this surplus, rather than sharing the dividends, let's plow back, because we had issues with liquidity into the system. Some members do that when they get to AGM. So, but if you have shared it, and you now come to, somebody now raise, okay, let's plow back. The deed has been done. We can't plow back again. That's just an example of some of the things that happens at AGM that make us to understand that there is need for members to go ahead. The more reason why we say, okay, if we know our members are the type that agitate for their dividends, yes, we can hold our AGM early in the year. Early in the year, hold your AGM, and if you share your dividend by January and AGM has been held in January, nobody will hold you responsible for not sharing AGM. But now, because it's I know you don't hold your AGM this far into the year. You do this. So it's just an observation that you, the management committee, need to look critically at before we start putting the cart before the horse. On question, okay, seminar. Yes, we want to appreciate management committee in sending members for seminars. The one that interests me is the vocational skills for women. Please, don't limit it to women again. Men, women, we need training too. Yes, don't let us be too sentimental. Women are human beings, we love them. Men too, we love being trained. So, as you are picking 50 women, if it is 20 men, join. If it's going to be 50-50, no cheating. So, yes, that's my own. And we want us to look at areas too that we can easily key into. For instance, into our Greek. Most of us, we live like kings. One plot, 2 plots, then we build our duplex on one side, while the remaining side is lying fallow. In this modern day Nigeria, we can do something with these fallow lands. Even this item is big enough. This item that you see is big enough for us to do our Greek. And we'll be making millions of naira at our backyard. Recently, I'm one of the members. Okay, I was selected by the state, my ministry, to represent the ministry on the State Appeals Steering Committee, technical committee on appeals. Appeals is agro-processing, productivity, livelihood enhancement, and projects. So it's all about Greek. And in Lagos State, the key catchment area is rice, aquaculture, and poultry. So on our visitation, we went to Mosuokwonla, Shagari Estate. I don't know who knows that place. You'll be surprised at the quantum of fishes that comes out of that estate. Yes. At the backyard, this one bedroom flat, Shagari Kongba, you now see the remaining small area, you now see collapsible pens. Some even improvised with this tarpaulin, one frame. That one will retain the water, and they are doing fish farming big time there. So what I'm driving at is, if we have on that plot of land that we built our houses, just one corner, we can do our own fish farming. We can do vegetable farming. Before you know it, as civil servants, we are making big money, such that within short time, we are repaying our loan and the cooperative will be enjoying. So don't limit to women. Let's go into farming entrepreneurship for our members, both women and men. It's not about hairdressing, yes, not about barbing. There are more that even impact the larger economy more than hairdressing and other vocational training. So please take note. Let's look for consultants that can help us in that area. If you can't find, approach the Ministry of Agric. Partner with them. They will give us officers that will come and train us. Even if it is a pace too, you can meet them and they will help us close to nothing expenses. Then the question from members at home has to do with access to housing loan. Yes, the president said they can approach the local government. In addition to that too, I think there are some mortgage, I think I saw something that has to do with cooperative mortgage bank. Yes, you can, the management committee can speak to them, see how they can help our members to access NHF, because that's where they want to take us to. So even if they can't do it, we as society can act as guarantor. Give them loan, we help you deduct on your behalf. We charge our interest, mortgage bank will charge its own interest. So that way, the yearnings for home ownership within this cooperative society would have been greatly met. Secondly, they asked about the online access to. I don't want to believe that at this stage in life of this cooperative society, we are still relying more on analog. I want to believe that today, as I will speak, you will be robustly digitalized in your operation. Any cooperative society that has an asset base of 6 billion, I don't think there's no application. No money spent in purchasing a good application that will help its financial operation. That is too much. In fact, you'll be saving a lot of money investing in such application because you are even bigger than most microfinance banks in Nigeria. And they too, they have applications they are using to run. So in the same vein, I want to advise that we take our time and look for a workable, robust financial app that will help us, move our operations and make it seamless such that the president and other management committee members will go to sleep when it is necessary for them to do that. Finally, on the insurance deduction, insurance policy, yes, it is a policy from state. And I can remember vividly during the Chief Ogulolu regime, I was at an AGM like this, and he made a comment about them keying into insurance then. I think it was standard life or what. He said, is this TACO then? I think it was standard during his own regime. Abi, Mr. Chief, Ogulolu, it was standard then. It was TACO, okay. TACO. He said he never knew that they had members who were, dying in that large numbers until they keyed into insurance. And that one greatly helped the financial because by the time they hear about that, they claim. To the extent that even Staco wanted to, pull out of the scheme. So I think he will be the best person to speak on it, not even anybody from the ministry, because he had first-hand experiences on this. So it's for our own benefit, such that the cooperative society will not continue to lose funds due to the untimely demise of, our members. It's God destined that at one point in life, we all live. So if it happens, we don't want those who are behind, who are members, to be suffering for such. If somebody had a loan of 2 million as at the point of demise and nobody to repay back, what happens? 2 million has gone down the drain. You have 10 of that, that's 20 million. That kind of money can service like 10 members here, averagely. So please, win or win, head or tail, it's a win-win for us. Insurance is a win-win for people across the world. It's only in Nigeria that we have a party to insurance. So, but now, gradually, we within this society, we are appreciating it. That's why the management committee has keyed into it. So, that's that on that. And on that note, I want to once again congratulate our president, Alhaji Lateef Oloto, and the entire management committee. I know Chief Zacchaeus too. He's been around for a long time too. I want to congratulate you and wishing us many, many more successful years ahead. Thank you. God bless you.
A round of applause again for Representative. We want to thank the representatives of the director for his comments and advices. They are indeed thought-provoking. And I want to assure you that we shall go back and look into some of those advices and counsels that were given to us. And because it is aimed at developing and ensuring the growth of our society to continue to maintain our leadership role. Thank you once again, sir. On that note, I want to have remarks from our leaders, starting from our emeritus president, Sir Chief Gabriel Roro, and down the line to our leaders. They must talk to us because of their experience. They must talk to us. And of course, the brand new president of LASCOFED, Ushaprapra president of LASCOFED, would equally talk to us. So, Sir Ororo, sir.
The president of LASCOFED, representative of the director of cooperative, my worthy president, my sister, the registrar, officers of the management committee, my colleagues, past presidents that are here, my lord, my dear brothers and sisters, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I rise to congratulate you on this occasion of our 58th anniversary as a society. I do not intend to talk today. More so, we have about 2 years when we shall clock 60 years. And I'm delighted. Is the registrar going? Okay. I want to appeal to the representative of the director. I have already been saying this, and I will continue to say it, that this society deserves more attention, more respect, more and more of everything that is good. I'm saying this because when you talk of cooperative society in Lagos State, this society is the oldest of them all. When you talk of Lagos State establishment, there are so many cooperative societies now, but this one, in which we all have the privilege to be, is the oldest society in Lagos State. I'm not talking of those in the federal government institutions like Nigeria Railway, but I'm talking of Lagos State per se. And I would like to say, and I've said on many occasions, that this society you are looking at started in the Lagos Town Council in those days, in 1962. Following the creation of Lagos State, and many local governments have been created out of that Lagos City Council, and most of the local governments in the old Western region were now merged as part of Lagos State. So many officials that were in Lagos City Council were being transferred to go and head some of these councils outside their original territory. That was the beginning of our society opening the door to accommodate people in Agege, people in Ikeja, people in other local governments, for what you can see today. And a lot of people, right from the state government, they are now our members. When, as time goes on, a lot of senior staff in the council were being transferred to Lagos State. You may be wondering, they mentioned my brother, my colleague, my friend, Justice Ishola, who were all colleagues in the then Lagos City Council. He went to university, studied law. You may not know, he was a legal officer of the society in those days. He was transferred to the ministry, and there he rose to become a judge. And up to today, he's still a member of the society. So when you now hear Justice Ishola, he's not a person who came from another place. He came from local government. He started local government. He rose to the state, and he's still a member of the society today. And I too was transferred to Lagos State, and my dear brother, I served for 35 years as a director when I retired. And I left service now over 21 years ago. I'm still a member of this society. I want to say, my dear brother director, I want you to really put this society in the map. Regard us as Adufai Joe. or the chief imam of the mosque. The chief imam will never stay at the back. That's a confession. Ditto at before I join the Christian world, will rise and say, Emawi Telemi. This society, my dear director, is the Adufai job of Lagos State. And when I see some of the societies springing up, a job, Emma, I want to go back, sir. With due respect to you, the director is not here. If the director say, I've said on many occasions, as so many of our interaction with the director, I always tell her, look, madam, Adufai Johnny Wa, the bank, Kenneth Lagos State, then she, Emma Fuadawa Wa, Yaka Joko, Gabi Agba. Ewo society is being way. What you call love sansi? Near the ministers having their society. Omo one gen was a do one Nikumo Alori. I want not here as there, Baba Fun and did that by ye. My dear President, I want to say this. We are members of the body of elders. You cannot be a member of the body of elders except you have served as a past president. Only 5 of us now, and with other two members. These 2 members must have served in local government and society for at least over 30-35 years. What do we do in the body of elders? We monitor what they are doing. Within the next year or so, there will be election. I'm delighted that the representative director spoke about succession plan. As body of elders, we don't choose for you. We don't impose candidates on you. But we have a privilege to advise you when things are not doing well. Those people that are galloping, they want to be this, want to be that. If you see, you cannot just become a president, a secretary one day without going through the system. It happened some years ago when a gentleman attempted to get up without even being a local coordinator. All of us that have served in that position, I want you to know, I'm the 4th president of the society. I served the #1 president as a honorary general secretary. I served the #2 president, the 2nd president as a general secretary. I served the 3rd president as a general secretary before I became a president. And I'm delighted. The man who took over from me, Mr. Goja, I brought him to the cooperative society. He started helping us to take care of our book. He later became a treasurer and later became a president. And the man who took over from Agoji was an assistant secretary in the society. He later became a secretary, later became president. The man who took over from Ogulolu, the president of NASCO Fed, he served as honorary general secretary. Later on became president. The man who is serving now, who is on the seat now, served as a honorary general secretary. Today is the president. So I'm saying all this because you cannot just say you want to become a president without going through the various stages. You must understand the system. You must understand why you have, why you must see this society as a society. You must have that passion. And cannot have that passion not until you really get yourself involved in the system. So I want to appeal to you all that succession plan will continue to guide the society because it has helped us so much. Recently, your body of elders had the opportunity of calling the management committee to order. When I say call them to order, not that they have offended, we had the opportunity of directing them, advising them on the way forward. Thereafter, we called a meeting of all your staff of the South Society because most of you have already usually speak to us on the phone, complaining of the attitude of the staff. We called all the staff and we told them of the need to really give you the attention required. I think we should now have, we have not had the opportunity of having interaction with the zonal coordinator. I think, Mr. President, sir, we kindly arrange, maybe next month, invite all the zonal coordinators, let them meet elders of the society, let us speak with with them. Let us have their feelings. Let them complain what they consider to be inadequate in society for the purpose of moving society forward. I want to congratulate you. And we are now 58 years. Within the next 2 years, we shall be 60. By the grace of God. Gbogbo wa ta wà mí lọ́jọ́ òní ọjọ́ náà ṣojú ẹ̀mí wa. Lẹ́yìn ọ̀gá wa láláúsá, ẹ̀ náà ẹ̀ bá wa ṣe é. Ikú ò ní jayín gbé. Àwa ti fi ṣẹ́lẹ̀ o. Ẹ̀yin náà ẹ̀ ní ṣubú ẹ̀mí. Bí a ṣe fi ṣẹ́lẹ̀, yesterday I was a little bit happy. Happy in the sense that one of 3% increase of pension. Nígbà tí wọ́n wà látọ̀ wọlé, mo rẹ́rìn-ín. That is, this is a thing I've been doing for the past 21 years. My dear sister, my dear representative director, ẹ̀yin náà gbà á, ẹ̀fọ́ yín pẹ̀tọ́ yín. Ọdún owó náà tó nǹkan, ṣùgbọ́n bí a ṣe ń gbà yẹn, inú wa ń dùn pé àjẹmọ́nú wa for 35 years. Iṣẹ́ ta for 35 years. That's if 21 years ago, ó là ń jèrè ẹ̀ lénìí. Ẹ̀yin náà ní ṣubú ara ẹ̀ ní ṣubú ẹ̀mí. Ẹ̀yin àbúrò mi dáadáa tí ẹ ti wà lẹ́nu iṣẹ́. Bí àwọn ará ìṣáájú ṣe ṣe tí wọ́n yege náà yege o. Wọ́n ní gbòkun yípo nínú ọ́fíìsì. Ẹ ní kábàámọ̀ kí wọ́n ṣiṣẹ́ fún. Once again, Mr. President, mo kí ẹ kó kórìíre o. Kó kórìíre lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀. Wọ́n ní ẹni tí orò bá kú mọ́ lórí kò ṣeé bá ṣeré mọ́. Ó kéde ẹ báyìí bàǹtàbàǹtà ní omi ọbẹ̀ pápá wa rí tóóró orò ní kó mẹ́ lórí o. Once again, my President Laskofed,